In this video, you'll learn how to get your Google Cloud Credentials JSON file step by step. This JSON file is often needed when you're connecting apps, scripts, or tools to Google Cloud services, so we'll walk through the full process from the console to the download. First, start by opening the Google Cloud console in your browser. Make sure you're signed in with the Google account that owns or has access to the project you want to work with. If you have multiple projects, glance at the project selector at the top of the page and confirm you're in the correct one. This matters because credentials are created per project, and using the wrong project can lead to confusing errors later. Once you're in the right place, look at the left-hand side navigation menu. You're going to head into the section where Google manages all of your APIs and authentication details. Open the menu and find the section called APIs and Services. Click that and then select Credentials, and this is the central hub where you can create and manage keys, OAuth clients, and service accounts. On the Credentials page, you'll see any existing credentials listed if you've created them before. To generate a new set of credentials, go to the top of the page and click the button labeled Create Credentials. From the drop-down that appears, choose OAuth Client ID. This tells Google you want a set of credentials that follow the OAuth standard, which many applications and libraries rely on to authorize access securely. If this is your first time creating an OAuth client in this project, Google might prompt you to configure an OAuth consent screen first. If that happens, fill out the required basic information, save it, and then return to the credentials page to continue. Once you're in the Create OAuth Client ID screen, you'll be asked to choose an application type. Select the application type that matches how your app will run. For example, you might pick web application for a web-based app, desktop app for a local tool, or another option if it fits better. Choosing the correct type can affect how the credentials are used, so take a moment to pick the one that best describes your setup. After that, give your OAuth client a clear descriptive name. This name is just for you and anyone else managing the project, but it's helpful to choose something meaningful so you can recognize it later. Once you've selected the application type and entered the name, click Create. Google Cloud will generate your new OAuth client credentials. You'll see a confirmation screen that shows the client ID and client secret, and this new credential will now appear in your list on the credentials page. Next, locate that newly created credential in the list. You can recognize it by the name you just gave it. Click on it to open its details page. This is where you can review or update its configuration, but the key thing you want here is the option to download the JSON file. On the credential details page, look for the option labeled Download JSON and click it. Your browser will save a JSON file to your computer, usually in your default downloads folder. This file contains the client ID, client secret, and other settings needed by your application to authenticate with Google Cloud. Keep this JSON file secure and do not share it publicly or commit it to public source control. You can now point your application or tool to this JSON file whenever it needs to authenticate with Google Cloud using these OAuth credentials.